Welcome back to the show, everybody. I have to say, the Ripple case has ended. The day you've waited 4 years plus for is finally here. The Ripple case is over. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. Very quickly here, $2.88 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 2.4% here. This is good news all across the board as Bitcoin's 84,100 plus, 2,000 plus for Ethereum. XRP quickly moving back to the number 3 spot. The Ripple case is over and Ripple has won. $2.56. We're up 14.8% in the last hour and a half since the news hit. We're up 16.9% on the 7-day. Look at the range of prices. We're jumping now from 223 on the bottom to 257. I'm not going to mess with you. I'm going to ask you right now, did you get your ticket to XRPLasVegas.com? You don't want to hear what Brad Garlinghouse is going to say on stage at XRPLasVegas.com to the entire XRP Las Vegas family about the 4+ year fight that we just went through and about how this not only helps all of us, but the entire crypto space. Get your tickets, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a historic year for XRP Las Vegas.
We're getting closer to XRP Las Vegas 2025, May 30th and 31st. The markets are fluctuating, but there is a momentum for this industry never seen before, including the first White House Crypto Summit and multiple XRP ETF filings, as well as a statement from the OCC with positive news for the industry. You can experience real-time discussions with industry leaders and learn about this now rapidly moving industry at XRP Las Vegas 2025, the world's largest XRP conference at the MGM Grand May 30th and 31st, with an amazing speaker lineup with top industry leaders. It's been a long journey, but it feels like it's just the beginning. Celebrate with the XRP community May 30th and 31st at XRP Las Vegas 2025. Get your tickets now.
And you're going to learn so much at this conference, and we're 71 days away, and the Ripple case is over. Listen, I got to get right to it. Here it is. It's Brad Garlinghouse with the message for everyone. The Ripple case is over. Congrats to the XRP family for holding on to what you believe in for so long. This is our time. Here's Brad Garlinghouse right here.
As many of you know, just over 4 years ago, the United States SEC filed its lawsuit against Ripple. I'm finally able to announce that this case has ended. It's over. Sitting here today and reflecting on 4 years ago, it seems very clear to me that this case was doomed from the start. In so many ways, it was the first major shot fired in the war on crypto. I truly felt like I knew then that Ripple was not only on the right side of the law, but I felt that we were also going to be proven to be on the right side of history.
It really, I think, sends an ominous sign for innovation around cryptocurrency in the United States. Picking winners in general has not been something the US government should be in the business of doing.
I think the judge realizes this is not just about Ripple, this will have broader implications.
As Mary Jo White, the former head of the SEC, has said publicly that she views this as a dead wrong, and the SEC is dead wrong on this decision.
Ripple is the first company with the resources, determination, and grit to fight back against the agency's overreach. And today, this journey finally concludes. Today is a victory and a long overdue surrender by the SEC. The SEC, under Chairman Gary Gensler, went after the whole industry, using the same arguments they used against us. They weren't out to protect investors. They were out to intimidate and terrorize. The regulator, whose primary purpose is to protect investors, went all in on a non-fraud, victimless lawsuit and wiped out $15 billion of value from innocent XRP holders. The SEC was the market manipulator. The SEC wasn't seeking justice. They were seeking to win a case at any cost. Forces inside our government aligned with the SEC and embarked on a campaign of debanking anyone associated with the crypto industry. This was lawfare, a war of legal terror. Fortunately, the judge rebuked the SEC multiple times in this journey. First, for lacking a, quote, faithful allegiance to the law. The SEC was sanctioned in our case for discovery abuses, and the pattern was repeated in other crypto cases.
Well, let's just say they're trying to confuse you.
We won then on every critical legal point, proving that the digital asset XRP is not a security. That is now the law, and those wins have laid the groundwork for policymakers to adopt a set of rules for crypto that are in line with nearly a century of securities law. With today's news, the war on crypto has ended in defeat for those who turned our own government against a technology and an entire industry. I'm heartened that we have paved the way for other industry players to see the value in not backing down, and for others to use our legal playbook to fight back. We are now closing a chapter in crypto history. I think we are all stronger for our prior litigation successes and today's landmark victory. Progress is worth fighting for. We won multiple pro-crypto victories at the ballot box last year. It's time to make the US the crypto capital of the world. Thankfully, we have new leadership in executive and legislative branches of our government. That leadership is actively seeking a rational and constructive way forward on crypto. Let's make the most of this. This is an incredibly promising moment. Let's come together. Let's leave the tribalism behind. Let me make it clearer that my main message, what Ripple's main message today, is about gratitude. It's gratitude to everyone who stood by us, to every Ripple employee, to the incredible legal team here at Ripple, led by the best chief legal officer in the business, Stu Alderodi. Gratitude certainly to the XRP family, to our customers, to our partners. Thank you. We couldn't have won this battle without all of you being behind us and working together. I truly believe we all agree there's immense opportunity with the largest economy in the world finally taking a pro-crypto and pro-innovation approach to build this technology in order to solve real-world problems for people around the planet. This was a fight Ripple never wanted, but one we knew we had to win. And today, emphatically, we have. Thank you.
I don't know about you, but it feels surreal. We fought for so long that today is the day. Brad is right. Today is a day to reflect on gratitude. And I say that all the time. I say it a lot to people. You know, gratitude in itself isn't a word, it's a feeling, it's an emotion, it's felt. And I am certainly feeling it today. Stuart Alderodi says, today Ripple moves forward stronger than ever. This landmark case set a precedent for the domestic crypto industry. With the SEC dropping its appeal, Ripple is now in the driver's seat and will evaluate how best to pursue our cross appeal. Regardless, today is a day to celebrate this victory. That's where we're at here. Lock in. Mike Warrington says today is a very good day. We won. We all won. He's absolutely right. John Deaton's at the conference right now where Brad Garlinghouse announced it on stage. Take a listen. Shout out to John Deaton for the clip.
Here at Digital Asset Summit. Just a few minutes ago, right before we walked up here, I posted on X that we can now announce that the SEC is no longer pursuing their appeal in the Ripple case. We're obviously, thank you. I've been here at Digital Asset.
That is remarkable. And here, respectfully, Charles Gasparino, oh my gracious. Obviously, the questions remains about the other part of the case, but it's clear current SEC believes XRP passes the Ethereum, spelled wrong, decentralized test as it's trading today. Also for the SEC, how does I Square, the duo, disclosed standard set by Judge Torres? That part I will leave for him to decipher, but I could tell you that this is where it gets crazy here. Chaz has just fell off a cliff. I don't know what's going on. Respectfully, be careful with these posts. Unfortunately, Chaz doesn't understand that there is no such thing as an Ethereum test, and that's how it's actually spelled. The SEC has made it clear that those words belong to Hinman and Hinman alone, not the SEC. The case is over. So the question remains, if Chaz is holding on to the Ethereum test, who's talking to Chaz? Hinman? This is a 20-minute interview. I'm not going to play all of it, but I'll play all of it up to where he makes that announcement. But we will be covering the rest of this interview because it's incredible. So I'm going to let a piece of this spin. Enjoy. The Ripple case is over. Congratulations to each and every one of you. What a journey we have been on, and it's not over. In fact, it's just beginning.
Nice to see you. It's bright and early. Show of hands, who has had coffee?
There's lots.
Yeah. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Well, I'm excited for the conversation. Great to be here with Brad. And we have a breaking topic. So it's on Twitter, but Brad can probably save you the time and give you a summary. There's an update to the appeal.
It's always good to make news while here at Digital Asset Summit. Just a few minutes ago, right before we walked up here, I posted on X that we can now announce that the SEC is no longer pursuing their appeal in the Ripple case. We're obviously, yeah, thank you. I've been
Should we get a standing,
Yeah.
little standing
This is
ovation?
good.
Can I
This
get
is
you on
good.
your
This is
feet?
good.
This is a great
For
moment.
the whole industry, this is a good thing.
Come on, come on. Okay.
So it's been almost 4 years and about 3 months since the SEC originally sued us. Certainly a painful journey in lots of ways, but as we said then, I mean, two things I'll highlight from what we said then. I really deeply believed that we were going to be on the right side of the law and on the right side of history. It's something we said then, and it's something that I feel kind of vindicated looking at this now. I mean, the other thing I would say, which there's a video I posted on X a short while ago, and one of the things I point out is the system just feels broken that we had to fight this fight for the industry. And you had an SEC attacking the industry, and particularly in the Ripple case, there were no victims. There was no investor loss. This is not something where the SEC was like, oh, something bad happened. It was just, they were trying to bully, they were just not acting in good faith. And luckily, you did have courts rebuke them. But look, I also, this is a moment to celebrate. I think we as an industry on the other side of it, that's good for everybody involved. It's good for Blockworks, that's good for Bitwise, that's good for Ripple. And so I'm really happy about it.
Well, congratulations. I think you said it well. It feels like a victory for the industry and the beginning of a new chapter. Does it feel like a new chapter to you?
Oh my God. Well, I really do think the new chapter started with the reset at both at Congress and the executive branch, right? When Trump came in and nominated Paul Atkins, nominated Scott Bessent, brought on David Sachs. I mean, these are incredibly smart people who I think are taking pragmatic, smart looks at, we want this industry to thrive in the United States. I mean, I think you aren't as old as I am, but I've been around.
Same age.
But I mean, it's been such an interesting thing to watch how the internet's thriving in the United States has been a geopolitical benefit to the United States. And yet here's this industry that the United States SEC was fighting offshore, which is exactly the opposite of what we should have wanted to do on any level. And look, I hope that even those that have been anti-crypto have realized there's no reason to be anti-crypto. And you saw that impact a lot of elections. I tweeted out about a year ago that I thought Elizabeth Warren was going to lead the Democrats off a cliff. And I think that ended up being pretty prescient about, look, this Congress is definitely, on both sides of the aisle, is pro-innovation and pro-crypto. And so I think we will see a lot of activity, as even the last panel was talking about.
Yep, absolutely. So I want to ask you in that vein, you have been at Ripple now for 10 years?
Getting old. you and I joked backstage on Twitter, people like to put up photos comparing Brad at the beginning of Ripple, Brad current. Yeah, there's more gray hair.
Right, a bit more gray hair.
I want to tell those people, like, look, you have the government sue you and see what happens.
Right, a bit more gray hair, 10 years. So the question I want to ask you is, have things in the space gone faster or slower than you expected?
I mean, I would say yes. There's things that, had you told me, I had the pleasure of being at the crypto summit last couple weeks ago also,
And again, the stark contrast of Ripple couldn't get a meeting with anybody at the White House over the last 4 years. And now we're invited in. And so in some ways, it's gone fast, because I would not have predicted 10 years ago we'd be having crypto summits at the White House. I would not have predicted that we'd be over, I mean, I don't know what the market cap of everything, 3.x trillion. Those are things that I would not have predicted. I mean, 10 years ago, the average daily volume in XRP trading was about $60,000. Today, I don't know, 6 billion?
Higher.
Those are things that it's gone faster. What hasn't gone faster, which I think the industry, and you're seeing people talk about up here, we have to find utility and not just the trading speculation. And you are seeing green shoots, to borrow an Obamaism, but I think that is now, particularly the attacks from the SEC, the attacks from the OCC, et cetera, are now behind us. In the United States, I think it's the time to build. It's the time to focus. And there's a number of amazing projects that we see. Some of those have nothing to do with Ripple. Some have nothing to do with XRP. But we're believers. I mean, also something we haven't shared publicly before. We've now invested over $2 billion. Ripple has invested over $2 billion in investments and acquisitions across the crypto landscape. Wow. And some of those have nothing to do with XRP, because if crypto does well, I fundamentally believe Ripple will do well.
Well, that brings me to, let's get back to building, but I wanted to read Brad a tweet and get how you think about it.
This is like a part of the SNL skit?
This is, this is, sometimes happens on late night. This is not late night, but this is our redux of it. The tweet that you posted was, "The crypto industry will achieve our goals if we work together." Then I looked at one of the replies. "You are a poo coiner, and we don't want any of your poo coin."
Does it say poo or does it say shit?
This is an emoji.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you just shared your perspective about the industry doing well. What do you think when you see that type of that view or that type of remark in the space?
I mean, look. First of all, that one's gentle. That one's mild. I've read much worse. What I think when I see that is like, that's working against the industry. We want to bring more people into the industry. We want to show the world that we can solve institutional grade problems. Posting you're a shit and you're a shit coin or whatever, it's just like, okay. I mean, I've been in this 10 years. It doesn't even bother me at this point. Yeah. I do wish the industry, and I've been saying this for at least 5 years, tribalism, I feel like, is the enemy of progress. It's okay to be tribal in wanting your project to do well. I get it. But this is not a zero-sum game. And when people act in a way that they think somebody else has to lose for me to win, I just don't get that. This is such a nascent industry. And like when I look at it and I see on one hand, wow, oh my gosh, I said earlier, it's gone fast because we're at a $3 trillion market. How do we get to 30 trillion? And I don't think that's helping. Yeah. I'll give you one quick funny thing. I saw on X or Twitter yesterday, people typing in, who is, I tested out this feature. You type in, who spreads more disinformation about XRP than anyone else?
This is Grok, you asked.
This is Grok, I asked Grok, correct. Who spreads more disinformation about XRP, one name only?
You got my name?
Did I get your name? I did get a name, a well-known Bitcoiner that I'll leave. You guys can test that out yourself. But look, I fundamentally, I just try to tune some of that out. I will continue to try to be constructive with all these projects. And I think Ripple has a lot of partners. There's a lot of companies we've invested in. And we will continue to try to see the whole industry succeed. And when I go to Washington, I am very much about how do we think about the whole industry's success and not. The biggest problem has been governments who try to pick winners and losers. And the irony thereof, many crypto people are have a libertarian view of the world, and yet they're libertarian, but they want the government to somehow, right. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, so right. I'm going to keep advocating what I've said for 5 years, that tribalism is the enemy of progress here, and I will support a whole lot of people in this room.
That mindset really resonates with me, and there's so many great people. You know, I think you've been doing it for 10 years, and just before us, Stani and Sergey, who've been working to advance the space
and doing great stuff,
with different projects. So there's a lot of great people who are I think trying to pull the whole industry forward. The last question I wanted to ask you on this topic, and then I want to turn to building, but what is your opinion of Bitcoin, and do you own any?
Look, I'm glad you asked this, because I do think there is both misinformation and disinformation, and people say shit that they know isn't true. I own Bitcoin. I've owned Bitcoin for a long time. I first bought Bitcoin in 2012, coming out of an event when I was first introduced to it. And I am bullish on Bitcoin, period, full stop. I'll leave it at that. Like, there's lots of other things that people say about me, and I don't think I've ever tried to be anti-Bitcoin. There are things around that statement that people will say, oh, well, Brad said Bitcoin is controlled by China. Look, my response to that is there was a period of time where a vast majority of Bitcoin mining was in China. That is no longer the case, and I think that's good for the industry.
And you own Bitcoin through that period anyway?
For sure, yeah. I don't remember when I last... I've used Bitcoin. I'm not sure I've sold Bitcoin. I've used Bitcoin for various transactions, but I haven't sold it.
Do you remember what you used it for as a transaction? You want to keep that private?
I mean, there are times, look, I just recently, I had such a frustrating, I was planning a summer event. I sent a Swift wire transfer. No surprise, it gets lost. I'm emailing, with them. I'm like, look, you could accept Bitcoin, you could accept a stable coin, you could accept XRP, and this would have been done already.
Right.
It was one of these things where 50% of the wire went, I have to do another 50%. I'm trying to convince them for the other 50% that they should take something else, so we'll see.
Right, we'll see. So we talked about building and all the possibilities in this chapter. Ripple has contributed to so many different things. There's custody, there's tokenization, there's payments, stablecoin, and then, of course, contributing to the XRP ledger. What are you most excited about today across all those dimensions?
Well, that's a hard one. Look, the stablecoin business, I would say, back to like what has gone fast, the stablecoin ecosystem, I think, has been evolved more quickly and differently than I would have expected 5 years ago. In a very good way. And hats off to Paolo and the team at Tether. Hats off to Jeremy and the team at Circle. I think that the stablecoin payment infrastructure is going to exceed expectations. Look, smart people are kind of predicting that the stablecoin business is going to grow 10x in the next 5 years. I'm a believer in that. Ripple just introduced, we jumped into this game as a principal just recently. And, we've already exceeded our forecasts for Q1, or kind of ahead of where we expected to be. You're seeing more players listing, which is called Ripple USD, RLUSD. And yeah, look, we're super happy about that. So happy with that momentum. But I don't know that I have a favorite child here. Okay. The custody business has gone very well for us. We have a strength, particularly in Europe, partly because the company we acquired was based in Europe. And so HSBC, BBVA, we've got a bunch of big names using our custody solution, particularly in Europe, but that continues to expand. And then the last thing I'll say on this front, in terms of the build, the unlock of the U.S. market. As you have experienced as well, the U.S. market has been kind of frozen in terms of financial institutions leaning in. And just in the last few weeks, you're starting to see the ice is thawing. Customers are engaging. I'm thinking more on the payment side now. But look, this is where maybe things have gone more slowly than I would have predicted. The payments market is still ripe for change and evolution. And I'm super optimistic about how that's going to play out. It is a multi-trillion-dollar market. It's amazing to me how broken it still is. As my own personal example I referenced earlier. But look, there's so many examples you can point to where you're just like, how is it that we still do it this way? But yet we haven't made that much progress. And so that to me is why one of the many tailwinds which will continue to fuel the crypto market at large this year and beyond.
I wanted to ask you as a subset of that about XRPL. I know that you're not the chief product officer.
In fact, I'm going to cut it right there. It's a great second half. We're going to get into it. Ripple case is over. Congratulations to each and every one of you. It's just beginning. Think of it. confirmation for Paul Atkins on the 27th. We got stablecoin legislation in the next month, maybe two. By August, all bills on the desk for the president to sign. Yeah. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Catch you all on the next one.